Hollywood. From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Thank God it's Friday!
Oh, absolutely. And if you can spell that, then you're not drinking yet. Hey, this is the last of 3 Wild Hair Hiatus episodes before we kick off Season 3 on June 2nd, so pull up your pants and let's go with another action-packed adventure to kick off Memorial Weekend 2025. Can you believe we're here already? All right, here's what's on tap on the wrap. Guess who got their COVID cherry popped? I have one request for the news media. Uncle Sam gives his biggest supporters the Slammin' Sammy. And man, do I have a TV movie combo for you to binge this Memorial Weekend. Plus, NBA, NHL playoff recaps are coming up. Another round of head trauma is on the way. We're going to play the mystery voice today, plus our usual loose behavior. The Friday Funny, Celebrity Cheese, your email from our Gmail, one more thing, and we've got shout-outs to Rat Nation and the Resistance. It's all on the way today on the Rat's Ass Podcast. Oh, here we go. You might hear a little bit of that today. I'll explain in a second. I do want to tell you, the last I checked, though, Rat Nation is up to 318 members. That puts us 682 signups away from our goal of 1,000 members before we can start dishing out the cash and prizes. It's a slow grind, a lot slower than I thought, but we're getting there. So check it out, though, at ratsasspodcast.com. And let me know if it's for you. Just sign up. And if you don't, like I said, no skin off our ass, Beulah. You know, I thought I was a real badass because throughout the pandemic, I never caught COVID. Not once. I traveled extensively throughout the United States. I'm going to say 40, 50 flights total. I bounced around without a mask unless required to get food. I just really didn't give it much of, a wherewithal. Not as much as a sniffle or a sneeze during the whole pandemic. Well, last Friday, doing the podcast, you might remember I said at 101-degree temperature, my head and chest were full of congestion. And then on Sunday, I was still feeling like, I don't really feel well. I feel like death is creeping in. And I found this leftover COVID test, and I took it, and son of a bitch. 2 red lines appear. I finally got the COVID. Yep, 5 years, 2 months, finally got the COVID. And I had it 3 days before I went to urgent care, but checked it out, and they were really good at my urgent care. I was real happy with it, and they gave me this stuff called Paxlovid. Have you taken it? You take 3 little pills about the size of Tylenol twice a day for 5 days, and it's supposed to knock it out. Now, today is my last day on the pills. Feel pretty good. Got some muck and gook in the throat still. But I won't test again until tomorrow. Now, this Paxlovid stuff, though, it's hideous. It's hideous. I mean, there's this aftertaste that is relentless, and it's ongoing, and it just lingers. And I don't care how much you brush, gargle, eat mints, chew gum, eat throat lozenges. Man, it just keeps raising day after day, hour after hour. It's disgusting. Best way I can explain it to you, and this isn't embellishing it too much, and those of you who've taken this crap know what I'm going to say, right? It's like continuously eating the ass of a dead camel's carcass. That's what it tastes like. But it does beat the alternative, which is meeting the Grim Reaper. So the end game is I got COVID, got my cherry popped, and I'm no longer special. I have a request, though, for the news media, the legacy news media that lied their ass off over the past 4 years. The biggest news story of my lifetime is how the Democrats propped up Joe Biden, who was mentally unfit to do the job. We know this now. We knew it, but they never reported it. But we're told by the Democrats and the news media that supported them that Joe was the sharpest guy in the room. Remember that? Ran circles around everybody half his age. All bullshit. So at this point, all that really matters and should matter is finding out who was running the country for 4 years. I mean, this is a big frickin' deal, gang. We want names, titles. Maybe it's just one name. But the point being, if it gets swept under the rug like every other frickin' story that's happened over the past decade, we don't have a legitimate government. Nor do we have a legitimate media. And, having worked in the media, I can tell you from 1996 on, it was being whittled down. It was being whittled down. And it was all a plan to give Democrats control of the media. I can get into more of that in another podcast, but we know it to be true in our business, in the radio business. But bottom line is, no legitimate government, no legitimate media means it's all for show and we're all being conned. There is no 72-hour news cycle on this one. the people or the person responsible for running this country needs to be brought to justice, if you want to call it that. What we experienced from 2020 to 2024 didn't need to happen. Now, granted, we voted for it. Well, I didn't vote for it. Somebody did. Supposedly, 81 million people voted for Joe frickin' Biden. A lot of us have always questioned that one. But if we don't get to the bottom of this, though, I promise you that I will never vote again. I will not vote again. Never. Because we don't have a legitimate government. We're all being conned. Now, do you have any conspiracy theories on this one? Who was it? Who was running the country? Let's talk about this. Who knows? Maybe we'll figure it out together. Let's hear them at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. All right, if you're getting ready to collect Social Security, or you're currently collecting it, you just got the big fat Uncle Sammy Slammy by the Republicans. Yeah, the big beautiful bill forgot something. No taxes on Social Security. So I don't want to hear any of this promises made, promises kept bullshit from Trump and the Republicans. Yeah. I got family members on Social Security that were really looking forward to this break. That's why they made that vote. They came through with no taxes on tips and overtime, but basically told seniors, hey, thanks for your vote. Now go fuck yourself. That's basically what they did. Now, the Republicans don't know this yet, but they just gave the Democrats an open door to walk through in the upcoming midterms in 2026 and the election in 2028 because they lied. And they're no different than the Democrats now, who lied about Joe Biden. Yeah, they got your vote, basically said, now you can go die now. Now, here's what I found kind of funny yesterday after it was announced that the big, beautiful bill got passed. It was quickly brushed under the rug about the no taxes on Social Security. They talked up the fact that no taxes on tips and overtime, but they acted like Social Security was never part of the plan. But you trust me on this one. When you tell somebody they're going to put an extra $2,000 to $4,000 back in their pocket and then they don't get it, they're going to notice. But here's what they did do. This is what they always do to the seniors. They always give them a little tickle on the balls. If you're in the low-income earner status, $150K a year or less, pardon me, they'll give you a $4,000 deduction, which amounts to a $500 tax savings if you make around $30K per year. If you make less, it's going to be less than that. And that's it. That's what they gave you. Yeah, that's what Uncle Sam gave you to say thank you for your vote. Here's up to $500. Now go die. That's the way the seniors that I've talked to, that's how they're talking about this. They feel really screwed about this. They really do. Now, I had hopes. If you go back to some previous podcasts, I even said before Trump ever mentioned no tax on Social Security, he was really just talking about no tax on tips. Didn't even bring up the overtime yet. I said if he did no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security, he'd win the election. And he did win. But I also said if he and the Republicans didn't follow through, they'd pay for it. And I'm quite sure they will. And they're going to find out over the next coming months they made a huge ass mistake. They're going to have to bend over that big fat elephant ass of theirs because there is a jackass with a big donkey dick dragging on the ground right now coming to shove it straight up the GOP's ass. You trust me on that one. All right, during my COVID coma, I've been watching The Offer with Miles Teller on Paramount Plus. Wow, what a good series. It was released in 2022, so I'm sitting here scratching my head like, how in the hell did I miss this one? It's 10 episodes, and it tells the story about all the mayhem that Paramount went through just to make the Godfather movie. All true. Bottom line is the mob, the New York mob, did not want this picture made. They thought it, painted Italians in a bad light. So they, at the end of the day, Paramount had to get in bed with the mob to make it happen. And the story is just fabulous behind this. So you get 10 episodes of The Offer on Paramount Plus, and after, you can't help but watch The Godfather after that. I mean, I know the movie's from 1972. It looks a little weird, but it still holds up. It's still a great, great story with Marlon Brando. So this weekend, if you're looking for something to do, try The Offer, followed up by The Godfather. I think you'll find it kind of a fun way to spend the weekend.
Here's COVID head Mojo Elliott with your Rat Sports.
Yeah, thank you for that, Alexa. I got to tell you, I'm starting to like this Paxlovid stuff. It kind of makes me feel edgy. All right, the NBA and NHL playoffs are raging on. Let's see who's leading who and how my picks are coming along. In the NBA, we've got the conference finals happening. My question is, how in the hell did the New York Knicks blow Game 1 against Indiana Wednesday night? I can't believe that. You know, I picked the Knicks to win the series, but by losing the game at home, they're now in a must-win situation. They lose tonight, series is over. They're going to get swept. They'll go to Indiana and get swept. If they win tonight, it's a 5-game series. The Knicks still got to win one in Indiana, though. So I'll tell you what, this is going to be a really, really good series. But if the Knicks lose tonight, I like the Pacers to win the series, even though I want to see the Knicks win it. That's the difference between reality and what the heart wants, the heart might not get. In the Western Conference Finals between Oklahoma City and Minnesota, I took Minnesota. I admit it. Series stands 2-0 in favor of Oklahoma City. I really thought Minnesota was going to bring it. And so far, they've just laid down and let Oklahoma City scratch their belly. So my worst nightmare in the NBA Finals might come true. Indiana and Oklahoma City. That'd still be a good series, but man, 2 Midwestern teams? I don't know. We'll see how the ratings turn out if that does happen. In the NHL Conference Finals, I took Florida to beat Carolina and Edmonton to toast Dallas. At this point, Dallas leads Edmonton 1-0. Game 2 is tonight. And Florida beat Carolina last night to take a 2-0 lead in that series, so I'm doing well in that one. Overall, I am 15-9, picking winners and losers, and you can verify all of my playoff picks on the NBA and NHL playoffs on Rat's Ass Podcast blog at ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com, and that's sports on the Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
Oh, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to play the Mystery Voice. Mystery Voice. Listen close and tell me who you think this Oscar-nominated actor? That's that Plaxived stuff too, man. It's like, I swear to God, right now, that aftertaste is just right there. And it just feels like I can't move my lips. You know, remember when you just wake up and you got really bad, shit breath? That's what it feels like. It's terrible. I mean, it doesn't give you bad breath. It tastes like it. It's weird. So anyway, but listen close and tell me who this Oscar-nominated actor is.
I love talking to him. We talked about sports and movies, and I got along with him absolutely great. I loved him.
Okay, listen close one more time because I know I piqued your interest.
I love talking to him. We talked about sports and movies, and I got along with him absolutely great. I loved him.
All right, kick it around, think about it. We'll have the answer for you coming up a little bit later on here on the podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Yes, it is. And it is finally Friday. And that means the Friday Funny. You know, there are a lot of edgy comedians, but I don't think there was any edgier comedian than the one you're going to hear today. Wham Bam Sam Kinison.
I'm like anybody else on the planet. I'm very moved by world hunger. I see the same commercials. Those little kids starving and very depressed. And I watch these things on TV, and I see those commercials, and I look at it, and I go, God, how cruel, you know? To see the little kid out there, and I go, fuck, I know the film crew could give this kid a sandwich. The kid's not out there, filming a letter from home with a Betamax, huh? There's a director 5 feet away going, don't feed him yet! Get that sandwich out of here! It doesn't work unless he looks hungry! But I'm not trying to make fun of world hunger. Matter of fact, I think I have the answer, because I spend a lot of time working it out. And if you want to stop world hunger, stop sending them food. Don't send these people another bite, folks. You want to send them something? You want to help? Send them U-Hauls. Send them U-Hauls, some luggage. Send them a guy out there that goes, hey, we've been driving out here every day with your food for like the last, 30, 40 years. And we were driving out here a day across the desert, and it occurred to us there wouldn't be world hunger if you people would live where the food is! You live in a desert! Understand that? You live in a fucking desert! Nothing grows out here! Nothing's gonna grow out here! You see this? Huh? See this? This is sand. Yeah. It's sand. You know it's gonna be 100 years from now, huh? It's gonna be sand!
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
Miley Cyrus has a new movie and album due out in a few days. And, she ended up in the hospital, though. Spent a little time in the ICU because she had a disintegrated knee. That was so bad, it apparently grossed out her ER doctor. Miley didn't understand that. These guys open people's bodies, and they would get grossed out by that, but they thought my knee was gross. Cyrus claims she doesn't know how the injury happened, but between you and me, I've heard this typically happens when women get, the old carpet burns on the knees. Jason Baldoni's legal team, they've dropped the subpoena against Taylor Swift that would have required Swift to testify in the Baldoni trial against Taylor's friend, Blake Lively. So naturally, Lively is very supportive of this move that her friend has been set free. You know why? Those seats with Tay-Tay at the Kansas City Chiefs games are priceless. They're better when they're free. Hey, Alexa, by the way, are Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, are they still an item? Are they still, getting it on? Are they?
Yes, Taylor and Travis are still bumping Uglies morning, noon, and night.
That's good to hear. Morning, noon, and night, huh? Wow. Hey, you know what? Season 3 of Tavis looks like it's coming up. All right, Shazam. Game show host Jamie Foxx addressed the rumors that Sean Diddy Combs tried to kill him in 2023 at a Hollywood roundtable he was at yesterday. Fox said Diddy did not do it. It's just a wild conspiracy theory that's going on and going around. It's not true that he and Diddy are still friends. It was just a conspiracy. But I'll bet you Diddy tried to bark him during one of those freak-offs. All right, a new documentary about the life of Paul Reubens, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman, debuts on Max today. In a message prior to his death, Reubens said that he wanted to leave this world by letting the world know who he was and not how he was labeled. And I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, I bet we're going to find out that Pee Wee really wasn't a level and he was lying to Dottie the whole damn time. All right, if you haven't been keeping track, Britney Spears has now been single for 94 days.
Who gives a rat's ass?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, as you know, I do not read your emails in advance. Fleabag forwards me your name, where you're from, and edits them down so I can read them rapid fire and on the fly. Thought I'd turn down the microphone there and clear the vessel so you didn't have to hear it there. But here we go. Tad G from Lowell, Massachusetts said, I've dated this girl for 3 months and her birthday is coming up. What can I get her that says I care, but I'm not overly interested? Wow, okay. I would say, you know what? I think girls still like those weekend getaways. Why don't you get her a week? Find out where she wants to go and take her on a nice weekend getaway. Just a Friday, Saturday night getaway, drive back on a Sunday kind of thing. And if she doesn't want to go, that spells out TJ Maxx gift certificate. Yeah, a little gift card. That's all she gets. Amy P. from Athens, Georgia. Saw in your X feed we already support a Vance Rubio presidential ticket in 2028. It's a little early, don't you think? Never too early. I mean, that's my stance for right now. You're right. I do like J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio together. Vance, been a big supporter of his from day one. I think Rubio has stepped up as Secretary of State. I kind of like that pairing right now. I mean, who do the Democrats have? They got nobody. AOC, give me a break. A freaking bartender running for president. Ex-bartender. Not going to happen. And I don't really see anybody else on the Republican ticket. I will leave the door wide open just in case somebody walks onto the scene that looks like they say what they mean and mean what they say. We'll see. All right, Cam T., Florida City, Florida. If there was a Mount Rushmore for hot Hollywood actresses, who would be your Fab Four? Wow, that's a decent question, Cam. Because I always get that question with Mount Rushmore pertaining to sports. But hot actresses, okay. Well, number one on the list is going to be Margot Robbie. I'd say number two, give me Charlize Theron. Third, Elizabeth Hurley. Oh, yeah, Elizabeth Hurley, definitely. She might even move up on the list a little bit. I might go Margot, Elizabeth, and Charlize at this point. But number four, there's so many I could do for number four. I'm going to say probably Terry Hatcher. You know why? I'm still intrigued by that Seinfeld episode. I'm still curious to find out if they're real and if they're still spectacular. Yeah. All right, Jeremy J., San Jose, California. How do you feel about the Senate voting to end California's 2035 electric car mandate? Oh, I'm really sad about it. So depressed. I don't think I can go on. I think I got to stop it right here. No, seriously, I love it, man. I'm an American muscle car head. I like my gas guzzler. You know, I like that 454 horses under my ass when I drive down the freeway. I like that, and I'm glad that we're going to be able to keep it. Now, I'm sure there's going to be shenanigans that go on with the courts and all of this stuff, but we got 10 years to rectify this. But I think at the end of the day, the government shouldn't be allowed to shove the shit down your throat. America is about freedom and choice. I just want my choice. If I decide to buy an electric car, I'll go do it. But I don't want to have a gun upside my head. And that's what our slumlord Gavin Newsom is up to with this crap again, too. All right, Lacey G. from Durango, Colorado said, did you see the video of the black lab that fought off 5 coyotes in California? Yeah, I did see that. That was amazing, wasn't it? When I saw the video, I thought, oh my God, 5 coyotes on a black lab. Yeah, he's a big dog, but fortunately, the dog's name was Duke, and he was only a year old. So he had the stamina to stick up with these guys, and I guess they battled it out for like 45 minutes. I posted it on the Rat's Ass Podcast Facebook page, by the way. I have to double check for you. I'll make sure it's up there, though, today. But it was just, you thought the dog was going to be toast, the black lab Duke, and he fought him off. He was just spinning around and snapping at them when they would snap at him. But coyotes, man, they surround you, and they try to come in and attack you. And I have to deal with it here at the Elliott Estate. We have to watch our little guy. He's only like a 7-pound Maltese, right? And so I'm always looking for coyotes when I go out the door. I've had them in my front yard. I've had them in my back patio. We've had them in the back green belt behind the Elliott Estate, killing rabbits and having them for breakfast. I got it on film. I could even post that for you. But sometimes it might be traumatic to some people, though. But it does happen. It does happen. But hey, good for Duke, though, man. All right, Wesley K., Muncie, Indiana said, are you still watching the WNBA? No. During the offseason, Caitlin Clark and some of the other white players decided to apologize for being white. I don't think any race needs to apologize for what race they are. Just be who you are. You don't see white guys in the NBA apologizing for being white, do you? So we need to see the WNBA get to that same point. I just think when race is entered in anything, I'm just going to say, this is just bullshit. This is part of that woke agenda, and I'm not going to deal with it anymore. I'm just not going to do it. So, no, Caitlin, go have a great career, but I'm not going to be watching the WNBA this year anyway. All right, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to my producer, Fleabag at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. The more outrageous and salacious, the better. ratsasspodcast.com. I'm looking for something here. I have no idea what I'm looking for. Hey, I think I just found it.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
That's the thing. I mean, they say when you got this COVID stuff that you have memory lapses, and I just had one right there. We are playing the mystery voice today. Listen close. Do you think you have it?
I love talking to him. We talked about sports and movies, and I got along with him absolutely great. I loved him.
I love this guy as an actor. If you said Ed Norton.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, you're correct. And if you missed it, go see your doctor and get well soon with your head trauma. All right, I've got to get back to my COVID coma. I feel it coming on, but I do have one more thing for you before I split. Did you know that dogs actually have a chemical explosion in their brains when they see a human holding a treat for them? Yeah, I imagine it's the same way a man's brain explodes when he sees a couple of boobies.
Would you like to see my boobies?
Oh, no, Alexa. Digital boobies just don't do it for me.
For $20, you can kiss them.
Okay, what are we doing? Scenes out of Roadhouse now?
Wow, it is true. You can't be stumped with movie trivia, can you?
No, I cannot. You bet your sweet ass I can't. Try it again, and I'll still get it right. Anybody that wants to challenge me, go ahead and try it. ratsasspodcast.com. You haven't succeeded yet, and you never, ever will.
Okay, smarty pants, just go ahead and do your shout-outs to Rat Nation then.
Well, that's the plan. Welcome to Rat Nation to Kendall Wallace of Carlsbad, California. Sammy Matthew of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dana Obradovich of Phoenix, Arizona. And to the Resistance. Those of you who email us but haven't joined Rat Nation yet, and I can't figure out why. Andrew S., Medford, Oregon. You must not like a good time. That's all I can figure out. Mary Lou H., Arlington, Texas. And Josh M. of Moscow, Idaho. There's a Moscow in Idaho? I guess there is. And around the world to listeners in Canada, Switzerland, Germany, and the UK. Anybody? Did we miss anybody, Fleabag? We all good on that? Okay, good.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards,
All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check out the new ratsasspodcast.com to connect with us on the socials, including our new YouTube channel. Listen to podcasts, join Rat Nation, read the blog. It's loaded with current events, pop culture, music, concert, tour info, the radio wars, sports, our Q&A, sex and relationships, plus the Dumbass Awards for 2025. Go have a great weekend. Season 3 starts on June 2nd. Be here, I'll come looking for you. Take care of each other, and thanks again for dropping by the Rat's Ass Podcast.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.